everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of an eyeshadow palette that I actually got on holiday. So if you guys watched the vlog that I just uploaded last week, then you will know that I picked up the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. I have been using it, testing it out, getting a true feel for my opinions on the palette. So first of all, here's what the packaging looks like. This is the unicarton box that it comes in. This is a bit dusty to be fair because it's just been sat on my desk ready to film this video. This in the UK you can get from Debenhams and it is £42. It's just very pretty in general. Like the Naked is in rose gold and so is the Urban Decay, and then Cherry is like in a silvery kind of white shade. And then on the back you get a description of what the palette is in both English and another language. And then you've got all of the shades swatched on the bottom with their shade names and a picture of the brush that comes inside. That Naked Cherry is ripe for the picking with 12 all new sweet and tart cherry hued shades, including shimmering pinks, warm peaches and deep burgundies. From Bang Bang, a soft micro sparkle pink, our go-to highlight shade, to Ambitious, a deep metallic copper, our new favourite, and Drunk Dial, our weekend obsession. This forbidden fruit has everything you need to create ethereal daytime looks to wildly seductive smoky eyes with Cherry's fresh vibe. It feels like we're getting naked again for the very first time. I love the description of this, I'm not gonna lie. The palette itself is really nice. It's quite a heavy feeling palette. The packaging on here is absolutely stunning. Again, it's got the cherries in the background and Naked Cherry and Urban Decay written in rose gold, kind of like a rose gold font, I guess. Yeah, it's overall gorgeous, and the back is like plain kind of burgundy pink ready shade. Okay, it is a bit dirty in here because I have been using this non-stop to give it a full test so that I know my full opinions on the palette. The brush that comes in here is so soft. It's a great blending brush. You guys can see products coming off. But yeah, the blending brush is so soft. It's great. And this little smudger brush is really great for packing in the outer corner or doing the lower lash line. I love this brush in general. I think it is amazing. So the shades in here, you get Hotspot, Caution, Bang Bang Feels, Juicy, Turn On, Ambitious, Bing, Devilish, Young Love, Drunk Dial, and of course Privacy. I overall love the shades of this palette. Definitely a palette that I will be reaching for very often. A quick side note that has nothing to do with this palette, but I've never owned an Urban Decay palette in general, not a Naked palette, not any other Urban Decay palettes or any Urban Decay eyeshadow singles, nothing to do with their eyeshadow formulas before. So I am very new to their shadow formula. From what I have experienced being a first time user of their shadows, they are very easy to use. They blend so nicely, so smoothly, and the transition between colours is so nice. All of the looks I come up with this palette I absolutely love, and the eyeshadow formula is so easy to work with. One thing that I am going to say is I definitely wouldn't recommend purchasing this if you just want it to make smoky eyes. Now the reason for this is because these shades down here, from Ambitious to Privacy, so Ambitious, Bling, Devilish, Young Love, Drunk Dial and Privacy, Bing and Devilish aren't as dark as they seem in pictures. If I hold this up to you guys can just tell it's not as dark. Like Bing is very kind of lighter, and so is Devilish even. Young Love and Drunk Dial I think are actually very similar to their pictures, but again Privacy isn't as deep as it looks online either. Like if you guys are going by online photos, just bearing in mind that like the darker shades aren't as dark as what you think. So if that's something that you like, I would say that it's kind of a good palette for you and you're going to use all the shades, and that's a great palette choice. But if it's something that you don't particularly like in a palette, for it not to go to like a black, like to like a very very dark brown or a black, then you won't enjoy it, I don't think, personally, if that's what you are looking for in a palette. But with eyeshadows, I feel it's definitely personal preference on what you like and what you don't like. So Just bear that in mind. I just thought I'd mention that because I saw Nicole Rennie, one of my favourite YouTubers to watch. I have nothing but love to talk about her. She's such a great YouTuber. I love watching her. She's cruelty free and she also talks about shouters constantly. But what she was saying is she definitely likes more grungy makeup, so kind of deeper makeup. Like obviously she does natural, but she also goes more, she leans more on the grungy side and like the more darker eyes side. And she just didn't feel that this palette was dark enough for her, so I definitely wanted to mention about Privacy not being a very, very deep, dark, rich shade. I feel like I've rambled enough about the packaging, the description of the whole palette and the shades, so let's go ahead and get into this. I will insert swatches. So these are all of the shadows swatched from the palette, going in order from how they go in the palette, like so. They are so pretty and so stunning, and there's a good array from lighter to darker shades. I'm gonna take Hotspot and use this all over the lid and up to the brow bone to just set everything, and yeah, I just love doing this, and this is a gorgeous shade as well. And if you pack this on with a flat shader brush, so if you're into like an all matte eye or you want to do an all matte eye, this looks stunning, like packed all over the eye. I'm going to take Caution. I'm going to try and use as many kind of shadows as I can so that you guys can get like a true feel for the palette. Then I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Caution, which is this one here. This is pretty much the same shade as my skin tone, so if I didn't want a brighter eye, I would either mix Hotspot and Caution or just use Caution to set the lid. I'm going to kind of use it as like a super soft transition shade. And I like to take my eyeshadow like down to here, just to kind of give a kind of winged, elongated eye effect. Some people might not like that. If you don't, fair enough, it's personal preference. And you do get a bit of kickback in the pan, but nothing too immense. You guys can see that kind of shows up a little bit on my skin tone. If I hadn't have put Hotspot down, that wouldn't have really showed up on my skin tone personally, but it is a great shade to set your eyelids with if you are like the same shade of me or like a bit darker. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Juicy. I'm skipping Feels for a second, but I'm going to come back and use Feels, but I'm going to take Juicy first. I haven't really used this shade a lot, which is shocking. I'm only taking a small amount of this on my brush, and I'm just going to go over that transition. I don't want it to be too bright in the crease, so, well, in the transition area, but I do want it to be brighter and lighter than the rest of the makeup is going to be. I'm taking the shade Feels, which is probably one of my favourites in the palette. So this is the shade that I'm going to go right in the crease with. And I'm taking it right from outer corner to inner corner. And I'm taking Bing here, which is one of my favourites. And I'm just kind of packing that on the outer corner and taking it halfway through the crease. If you guys can see that. And then I'm just placing that with that smaller brush, and I'm going to blend it with the same brush, not adding any pigment to it. I'm just blending this out, and as you guys can see, when you blend, it just blends so nicely into one another. Yeah, love that. And I'm just going to build that up a little bit more because I always like to start off slightly shy of how much I'm going to use, and I kind of go halfway across the lid now, kind of getting braver with how much colour I put on, and I just kind of go halfway through the lid and taking it a little bit further through the crease now, and then we're going to blend again. And I'm taking the shade Devilish down here, this nice cranberry kind of reddy pinky shade, and I'm just packing that in the outer V, as you guys can see. It's not much darker than Bing. Then I'm taking this one exactly halfway through the crease, and I do not want to go further than that with it. And then again, I'm going to just do the other eye. Then I take this brush, a little bit of the shade Bing on top, just a tiny little touch. I'm even like dabbing it off on my hand. And then I'm just going to blend the edges of this shadow straight into the outer, and just keeping it nice and low in the crease, like so. Then I'm taking the shade Privacy, which is the darkest shade in the palette, and this is where, I mean, it's not super dark, rich shade, so if that's what you're looking for, maybe stray away a little bit. And this one is just going right on the very outer a little bit into the crease. It's kind of like a straight line into the crease. I haven't really packed it too much on the outside. I've put it a little bit on the lower, like on the upper lash line, but nothing too much. And then again, taking the Urban Decay brush that comes with the palette, just blending that right into the socket. Took a matter of seconds to blend that out, and it looks stunning. Shimmer shades in this palette, you have the option of Drunk Dial, Young Love, Ambitious, Turn On, which look like that, and there is more coming, hang on. And then you also have the shade Bang Bang, which is probably my personally most used one. So of course you guys would have seen the swatches earlier on, but these are the options I have for lid shades within this palette. I actually think I'm going to take this one, which is Turn On, today. Normally I always take Bang Bang, but I'm going to take Turn On. Bang Bang is more pink, Turn On is more of like a champagne-y kind of gold undertones. Ambitious is obviously your copper shade. Drunk Dial is like a deep burgundy brown, and then Young Love is kind of like a purple kind of pinky reflex in it, because all shimmer shadows are going to have some sort of fallout if you don't. Because with this palette, I find if I tap off excess, I'm perfectly fine. I have no fallout and nothing is on my face at all. I have no fallout from the mattes, so there's no reason why there should be fallout from the shimmers, and there definitely isn't. If you guys are looking for a metallic shimmers, these aren't metallic shimmers. They definitely aren't. They're just like a normal shimmer. Then lower lash line time, I'm going to go straight into Devilish, which is the shade down here. I'm just blending that about halfway. I'm just blending that a little over halfway on my lower lash line. Then taking the same side of the brush, which is the Urban Decay one that comes with the palette, and I'm just placing it on the very outer V of that part of the eye. You can Turn On, and I'm just going to go right underneath the lower lash line to help open up the eye. I love the overall sultry appearance of this palette, and I definitely think that it is worth the money. I have been using it every day and I have been loving it every day. There's not one eye look that I have created that I have thought, oh my god, I really wish I didn't purchase this palette. I've used every single matte in the palette to create this look, and I love it. I just love how sultry and soft all of the eye looks turn out when I use this palette. I love the look that this palette gives me. I definitely think that I love the tones of this palette with my eyes. I just really enjoy this palette in general. For me personally, I'm getting my money's worth from this palette. I've been using it every day. I can use it for day looks, I can use it for night looks, I can get more dramatic with it by adding wings. But overall, I love the effect that Urban Decay were going for. They were going for a soft, sultry kind of glam palette, and I definitely think that is what they've created, because by not putting the deep dark colour like a black or like a close to black shade, it has really created this kind of soft, sultry look that I think is very easy to make. Like, they've really ordered the mattes in a way that it's really easy to use. So if you're someone who struggles to know what mattes to start with, they are literally in order that you can use them. And even if you started with Juicy, you can then go to Bing and Devilish, and they are like, you know, they're the good, like, they just go together so well. All of the mattes in this palette go together so well. You can create such amazing looks from this palette. Let me know your opinions if you guys have this palette in the comment below, or what you think of it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here and would like to see more videos from me. And don't forget to hit the bell so you get post notifications for every time that I upload. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!